Meet Rose. She is 74 years old. She has always taken pride in her spotless home. Her kitchen windows were always streak-free. Her bathroom always smelled of lavender. Her floors were always something you could practically eat off of. But lately, Rose told me something that broke my heart just a little. She said the floor feels like it is 1,000 miles away, not because she is weak, not because she has given up, but because her body, after 7 decades of hard and beautiful living, has simply started sending her different signals. The simple act of picking up a stray sock became a negotiation. Wiping a spill off the kitchen floor became a choice between a tidy room and a week of back pain. And Rose, like so many women her age, started quietly shrinking her world. She stopped inviting her grandchildren over as often. She worried they would notice the dust on the baseboards. She worried they would see the socks she could not pick up. She started feeling like her home no longer belonged to her. You are not alone, Rose. Meet Martha. Martha is 71. She raised 4 children in a house she cleaned every single Saturday morning without fail. She was the kind of woman who mopped on her hands and knees and considered it a point of pride. But after her hip replacement 3 years ago, the kneeling stopped, the bending stopped, the reaching to the back of the low cabinet stopped. And slowly, without anyone noticing, Martha started feeling like a guest in her own home. Meet Gloria. Gloria is 68. She is a retired school teacher from a small town in Ohio. She lives alone in the house where she raised her 2 daughters. Gloria has mild arthritis in both hands. Gripping a heavy mop handle sends shooting pain up her wrists. She told me she used to cry a little on Sunday evenings because Monday would come and the house would still not be clean, and she did not know how to fix that. You are not alone, Gloria. Today on Silver Life Hacks 65 Plus, we are breaking every single one of those barriers. We are going to walk through a complete standing-only cleaning routine. No bending, no kneeling, 0 floor-level reaching. Every single technique in today's video keeps you upright, keeps you safe, and keeps your spine and your joints exactly where they belong. Let us reclaim your home, one upright step at a time. Phase 1, the Golden Zone Kitchen Refresh. Let us start in the kitchen, because the kitchen is where most of the daily battles happen. Martha found herself skipping dishes for days at a time, not because she was lazy, because the sink felt too deep. Reaching down into a deep stainless steel sink with a full load of pots and pans was sending spasms up her lower back that lasted until Wednesday. So we helped Martha do something she called her greatest kitchen discovery. We helped her identify what we call the golden zone. The golden zone is the area of your kitchen between your waist and your shoulders. Everything you use every single day should live in that zone, not on the bottom shelf, not in the deep cabinet below the counter, not on the floor-level shelf of the pantry. If you touch it daily, it lives at waist height or above. Martha moved her everyday plates to the middle shelf of her cabinet. She moved her coffee maker to a small rolling cart at counter height. She moved her most used pots to a hanging rack that sits just above the stove. She said it took 1 afternoon to reorganize, and it changed her entire relationship with her kitchen. Now here is the first official hack of the day. Get yourself a long-handled dish wand. This is the kind with a scrubbing head on one end and a long handle that you can hold with your elbows tucked and your spine completely straight. Martha uses hers not just for dishes, but for wiping down her counters. She never bends over a surface anymore. The wand keeps the work in front of her at the right height with 0 strain. Here is the second kitchen hack. Get a small rolling cart with shelves, preferably one that sits at waist height. Martha uses hers as a kitchen companion. When she finishes a meal, she slides her dirty dishes onto the cart instead of carrying a heavy stack to the sink. She rolls the cart to the sink, loads the dishwasher from a standing position, and never lifts more than 1 plate at a time. She said it is not laziness. She said it is smart energy conservation, and she's absolutely right. Gloria added one more trick to her kitchen routine that she wants to share with all of you. She bought a long-handled silicone pot holder that lets her reach into the oven without bending down toward the lower rack. She angles the pan, uses both hands on the long handle, and stands completely upright the entire time. She said her daughter visited last month and could not believe the kitchen was so clean. Gloria did not tell her it only took 20 minutes. Phase 2, the Tongs Cloth floor rescue. Now let's talk about the floor, because the floor is where the anxiety lives for so many women in our community. Rose used to avoid her kitchen entirely after meals because she was terrified of dropping something, not just because of the mess, because she knew that if a piece of pasta or a splash of soup hit that tile floor, she would have to make a very difficult decision. Leave it there and feel ashamed, or bend down, risk the pain, and spend the next few days paying for it. Then she discovered what we now call the silver pincers method, and it changed everything. Here is the hack. Go to your kitchen drawer right now and find a pair of 12-inch kitchen tongs, the kind you use to flip chicken on the grill. Wrap a damp microfiber cloth around the gripping ends and secure it tightly with a rubber band. Now you have a floor tool that lives at the end of your arm. You can pinch up a soggy piece of vegetable. You can grab that stray sock that slid off the laundry pile. You can press the cloth against a small spill and dab it dry. And your head never drops below your waist. Rose keeps a pair in the kitchen. She keeps a pair in the living room. She keeps a pair in the bedroom. She calls them her constant companions. She said the day she used them for the first time, she stood in her kitchen and laughed. Not because it was funny, because she felt free. Because a tool that costs almost nothing gave her back the confidence to be in her own space without fear. Now let us talk about ongoing floor maintenance. Meet Doris. Doris is 77 years old and lives in a 3-bedroom ranch home in Florida. She has a small dog named Biscuit who sheds approximately enough fur each week to build a second dog. Doris told me the floor vacuum was her nemesis because the traditional canister style required her to pull it low and guide it into corners by crouching. We introduced Doris to a lightweight, cordless stick vacuum with a swivel head. It steers with 2 fingers. It reaches under the couch without her bending her knees. It weighs less than 4 pounds. Doris said vacuuming Biscuit's fur used to take her the better part of an afternoon because she would have to rest so often. Now it takes her 12 minutes, and she follows it up with a cup of tea. For spills that need a real scrub, try a long-handled floor scrubber with a microfiber pad that you can dampen and use in short, controlled strokes. You stand upright, you push forward, you pull back. Your spine is neutral, your shoulders are relaxed, and your floor gets clean. Phase 3, high reach dusting, the walking method. Martha loves her books. She has 3 full bookshelves in her living room that she has been collecting since her 20s. She loves the way they look. She hates the dust. For years, she climbed a 2-step stool to reach the top shelves. And for years, her daughter called every Sunday and said, "Mom, please stop getting on that stool." After a neighbor of hers took a fall off a similar stool and spent 6 weeks in rehabilitation, Martha finally listened. But then the dust built up, and Martha felt that low-grade shame that so many of us know. The feeling that your home is slipping out of your control. We introduced Martha to a telescoping microfiber duster with a flexible head. It extends from about 2 feet to nearly 5 feet, depending on the model. The head bends at different angles, so you can attack a surface from below, from the side, or straight on. But the real secret is not the tool. The real secret is the technique. We call it the walking method. Stand back from the shelf about 2 feet. Extend the pole to the right height. Now, instead of reaching and straining from one spot, simply walk. Walk slowly alongside the shelf, dragging the duster head gently across the surface as you move. Your legs do the work. Your arms stay at a comfortable, neutral height. Your shoulder joints stay perfectly happy. Martha said the first time she tried it, she went back and forth twice because she could not believe how easy it was. She said it felt like walking her dog, except the dog was a duster and the yard was a bookshelf. Meet Helen. Helen is 72 and lives in a tall Victorian townhouse in the Northeast. She has crown molding in every room, and she absolutely refuses to let it collect cobwebs. Helen uses a telescoping duster with a small brush attachment specifically designed for corners and moldings. She said her late husband always teased her that she cared more about her crown molding than most people care about their cars. She still laughs about that, and she still keeps the molding spotless. Standing up, walking slowly, letting the tool do what the tool was designed to do. Phase 4, the spray and forget bathroom sanctuary. The bathroom is the hardest room. Let us be honest about that. The bathroom is where the most physically demanding cleaning tasks live. Scrubbing a tub requires kneeling. Cleaning a toilet base requires bending. Getting into the corners of a shower stall requires a combination of both that no 70-year-old spine should be asked to perform on a weekly basis. Rose used to dread bathroom cleaning day so much that she would put it off until company was coming. Then she would push through the pain, spend an hour on her knees, and spend the next 3 days with an ice pack on her lower back. She knew it was not sustainable. She did not know how to change it. Then she found 2 products that she now calls her bathroom angels. The first is a long-handled electric scrubber. It looks a little like a power drill with a round scrubbing brush on the end. The handle is long enough that Rose stands completely outside the bathtub. She reaches in, turns on the motor, and the brush does the scrubbing while she guides it from a safe, upright position. She said the first time she used it, she cleaned her tub in 4 minutes. She then sat down and called me to report this fact. I was delighted. The second product is a daily shower spray. This is a no-rinse, no-wipe formula that you spray on your shower walls immediately after bathing. It prevents soap scum and mildew from building up in the first place. Rose sprays it while she is still standing in the shower, right before she steps out. The nozzle has enough reach that she can hit the back wall, the side walls, and the corners without bending once. She said her bathroom has never been cleaner. She said her knees have never been happier. Meet Patricia. Patricia is 69 and lives alone in a condo in Arizona. She has a small bathroom with very little room to maneuver. Patricia was struggling with cleaning her toilet, specifically the base and the area behind it, which required a level of floor-level contortion that she simply could not manage anymore. We helped Patricia find a toilet wand with a long angled handle that lets her clean the rim, under the rim, and the base from a standing position with a slight forward lean, not a bend. She uses disposable cleaning heads, so there is no rinsing and no touching. She said it turned a 15-minute ordeal into a 3-minute routine. And for grout, which is the nemesis of every bathroom, we introduced Patricia to a long-handled grout brush with a narrow head. She uses it in short back and forth strokes from a standing position. It is slower than kneeling would be. But she finishes with her dignity intact and her knees thanking her. The living room sweep and the bedroom reset. We cannot leave the living room and bedroom out of this conversation because dust does not stay in the kitchen, because clutter does not respect room boundaries. Meet Sylvia. Sylvia is 75 and she has a living room full of the most beautiful things. Framed photos from 50 years of family gatherings, a collection of ceramic birds she and her husband found at flea markets across 12 states, small figurines on a low coffee table that she loves deeply and dusts carefully. But the low coffee table became a problem. Reaching down to dust small figurines at knee height was asking too much of her back. Sylvia's solution was elegant. She placed a decorative tray on top of the coffee table and arranged her figurines on the tray. When it is dusting day, she lifts the tray as a single unit, places it on a higher surface, dusts everything at a comfortable height, and returns it. She said she cannot believe it took her 3 years to think of it. In the bedroom, the biggest challenge our community members describe is making the bed, specifically tucking in sheets and reaching to smooth out the far side of the mattress. For this, we recommend a simple tool called a bed maker stick or a sheet tucker. It is a flat plastic tool about 18 inches long. You use it to tuck sheets under the mattress without bending over. You run it along the edge of the mattress while standing beside the bed. Rose tried it and said she made her bed in under 5 minutes for the first time in 2 years. She said it felt like winning. Cleaning is not about perfection. It never was. Cleaning is about the dignity of living in a space that reflects your value, a space that says to every person who walks through the door, including yourself, that you matter, that your comfort matters, that your safety matters, that your home is yours. Rose is not limited. Martha is not limited. Gloria, Doris, Helen, Patricia, Sylvia, none of them are limited. They have simply updated their tools for a new and beautiful season of life. They have made the brave and intelligent decision to work with their bodies instead of against them. And every clean counter, every dust-free shelf, every spotless bathroom they maintain using these methods is a small and powerful act of self-respect. Which part of your home is the hardest to reach right now? Tell me in the comments below. Describe your space, describe the challenge, and let us brainstorm a standing-only solution together. This community is full of brilliant, resourceful women who have solved problems you have not thought of yet, and I am here to listen to every single one of you. If this routine helped you feel a little more in control today, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to Silver Life Hacks 65 Plus so you never miss a new episode. We post every week with new hacks, new stories, and new reasons to feel confident in your own home. Stay upright. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves the way you have always taken care of everyone else. And I will see you in the very next one.